And we're on the air. Aloha, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are in this world. It is the Aloha Hour. I am your humble host, Mike Miller, and I am once again here with our co-host, Edwin Boyette, the Silver Fox of Comic State.
Aloha.
Aloha, Edwin. So, I just got back from seeing the Ant-Man. Is it the Ant-Man? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, man.
I take it you have not seen it.
We have not seen it.
You've not seen it. You don't go see movies.
The last movie we saw in the theater was the last Avengers movie, and that was because I was back home with
right.
Yeah, my family and my little nephew wanted to go see it.
Well, I would in general, I would give the movie a thumbs up. What the heck? It's not a perfect film. I don't know if you saw the first one, Ant-Man.
Bits.
The first one was good. I don't know if it's the same director, but the lack of perfection of this film, I would most likely lay directly at the feet of the director. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, they're fine actors, and they just delivered some of the most lackluster, uninspired, unbelievable performances of their careers. It was just very phoned in for them, and I don't know if that's the material. But you know, they say there are no bad scripts, only bad actors.
There's pretty bad scripts.
Right, but you know what? I mean, you can act a bad script well.
Yeah.
Right. It's not what's on the page. It's how you're saying what's on the page. You can be saying something and emoting something completely different from the words that are coming out of your mouth. I've been studying acting with my daughter goes to this acting class. She's been going for 6 years now, and I've been going to quite a lot of those classes with her, and so it's like I've got myself a freaking master's class in acting. So because I sit in with her, you know, usually. And yeah, it's you know what? It's like, it reminds me of the Star Wars prequels, how you had these great actors. I mean, Ewan McGregor, one of my favorite actors, right? You had Natalie Portman, a fantastic actress, and you had what's his name? Leslie Nielsen. Not Leslie Nielsen. Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. A little bit, half 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? And they turned in undoubtedly the worst performances of their careers under the direct direction of George Lucas. So I felt this similarly. The other characters as actors, I mean, Evangeline Lilly, whatever. She's kind of a middle of the road actress.
Yeah, she was of Lost fame, yeah.
Yeah. And before that, she was in one of those 1-900 commercials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
976 Lone Star.
Yeah, one of those numbers. From so funny. But yeah, I mean, the other actors, the guy that plays Scott, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. You know, they have, and the comedic guys, they have a lot of charisma, so they could carry their scenes better than, you know, without direction, I guess is the best way to say it. They have such great comedic timing that a director can't screw them up. You know, So I mean, really, that's my only fault with the movie. I mean, the physics issues with, you know, they set up certain laws that they totally ignore. Like one of the big things about Ant-Man is, hey, what if you take the mass of a grown man and you shrink it down to the size of a bullet and you hit somebody with it? It's like, you know, hitting him with a 180-pound dude, but it's the size of a, you know, pinprick. So it's gonna, you're like a bullet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you construct, you reduce the space between molecules, you increase the mass and the density of an item. But then you have a building that you reduce to the size of a suitcase, and people can pick it up. And you know, same thing with cars and the tank in the first one. Remember that? I don't know if you probably didn't see it, but those issues notwithstanding, still a very enjoyable movie. My son liked it. I'm not sure if he liked it better than the first one, but he probably doesn't. I took my 10-year-old. And yeah, he really liked it. So yeah, I will give it a moderately enthusiastic thumbs up. So yeah, go check it out. Don't expect to be like dazzled or anything. I mean, all the effects are great.
Out of 5 gyoza, how many gyoza out of 5 gyoza?
I give 4 gyoza. 2、3、4。4餃子ですよ。いらっしゃい! All right, let's see if anybody else in the chat managed to see it yet.
Actually, even more important than that,
Yeah.
Bethany Frericks. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Bethany Frericks said she just backed Lone Star. So, Bethany, thank you very much. Welcome to the squadron.
Mahalo, Bethany. Mahalo, mahalo. Woohoo. What are Lone Star's powers, David Butchfield? I thought we were talking about Ant-Man, but if you want to talk about Lone Star, Lone Star has powers just above like world-class strength levels. So like the strongest man on Earth can bench press about 1,100 pounds. So Lone Star can bench about 1,200 pounds. So he's like at the max, a little more than the max level of human, like legit human power.
But packed into the frame of an athletic and agile, what, about 185, 195 pound man?
Oh no, he's like 6'2", 6'3". So he's probably a good 220.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like Japanese muscle, you know. It's like we've had this discussion.
Oh,
I don't know why that's locked on me. Has it been? So, and he heals very, very quickly. And he has he can sense fear. And this he uses sort of as a homing mechanism to seek out people in peril. And he uses that sense to go and aid them. And plus, he's been trained in various martial arts over the last 80-odd years. So, fighting techniques from around the world here and there.
It's a good little amount of time to practice your judo.
Yeah, Paul Rudd, that's it. Dennis Peruch says, I like Ant-Man. I really like Paul Rudd's comedic style. Yeah, I mean, Paul, he's fantastic. He's great in the movie. The director couldn't squash his timing. So
was Yellow Jacket in this movie?
No, he was not. No.
Oh.
It was Ghost, the character they called Ghost. Loved Justified and S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, you're talking about that dude. Yeah, Justified. I haven't watched all of Justified yet, but yeah, the dude from Justified was in it. I don't remember. He's got a really weird name. Walter Groggins? Is that him? Is that his name?
Walter Goggins. Is that the fellow from the Western movie? Not too Deadwood.
I think he is in Deadwood. I think so.
Yeah, I like that actor.
Yeah, he was good in Sons of Anarchy. He played a tranny in Sons of Anarchy.
What?
He did great. He did great. Thanks, Mike. Now I have Mandinka stuck in my head from you singing Sinead a few days ago. Sorry. Mandinka. I enjoyed the Asian FBI agent. Yeah, there's a he's probably Korean FBI agent who he's like the straight man to Paul Rudd, right? And he does a really good job. It's funny. Yeah, most of the comedy bits really work. There's a couple that seemed a little stretched or just rehashed from the first movie, but still, all in all, I mean, it's definitely a film I wouldn't mind watching again at some point. So which movie? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yes, Aloha, Monsters of Awesome. Just back to your book. Thank you, Bethany. Then watching Obi-Wan kill Maul. That's really the only good lightsaber scene in the prequels. Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul. Nothing. Edwin doesn't care.
I did like the most recent Star Wars movie, the fight with the Red Guards. That was kind of like moderately entertaining.
It was. I didn't think the choreography was all that great.
I just like the costumes, to be honest. They look very menacing. That was like one of the best visuals in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everybody else is like, you got frumpy girl, you got admirable purple hair, it's just like there's no place your eye can rest and see beauty. Yeah. Yeah,
but in Star Wars, it's always been the bad guys had the better looking outfits. It's like the Nazis hiring, who'd they hire? Like freaking Versace or somebody to design their suits. Seriously, they hired some high-end fashion designer to do their, and then we have camo frumpy. But
yeah, I don't want to see frumpy. You know what I mean? Unless I'm watching like a Will Ferrell movie, I'm just not particularly interested in frumpy. If I'm going to spend money, like for us, we go see a movie, we're probably in for like $60 just for the two of us.
It ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. I don't know. Let's see. When I was a kid, when I was around 18, you could go see a movie for, I mean, depending on the theater, about $4.50.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, minimum wage was $4.25. So you could basically work for 1 hour to go see a movie that took 2 hours. So it was like a nice little.
Yeah.
That's what you think when you're working for minimum wage and you're living at your parents' house, right? It's like, what can I buy with this 1 hour's worth of
my time? Yeah, I can get 2 hours of entertainment and maybe work another half an hour, and you can get some popcorn and a Coke, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Or some natto or whatever crazy snacks you eat.
I used to wash dishes at my mom's sushi bar, and Japanese restaurant called Shin in San Jose. And I know this may sound gross, but like a lot of the times, nobody would eat their broccoli tempura. Right? They wouldn't even touch it. It was like,
yeah, broccoli tempura sounds like a hard pass, to be honest.
I freaking love broccoli tempura. So bow down at anybody broccoli tempura. Every day. It was funny.
Oh, you're weird, Miller. Broccoli tempura. Oh,
you know what's the best is mushroom tempura. So good. Ethan, what's up, buddy? Sketch, you drawing frogs.
Oh, you have got a real celebrity in your chat.
Who that?
The real celebrity in your chat is Microtoast. Microtoast is like a sculptor and is doing those super cool figurine slash sculptures for the Red Rooster. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, I don't see any micro toast in the chat either. Where?
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find those and show those to you because they're
Micro
awesome.
Cornesti?
It says Microtoast.
Micro toast. Am I blind?
Um,
I'm a blind man.
are you squinting your eyes?
Always.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Sharing my screen. Sharing the screen.
Oh, okay. I see micro toast.
All right. I'm screen sharing. Now let me go back over to.
Ivan Ortega did a great video about that scene's problems. Is he talking about the fight scene? Oh. With the disappearing blades. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, you want to show? Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find another one. Let's see.
How tall are those?
Say again?
How tall are those?
Gotta ask Microtoast.
Microtoast, how tall are those?
It looks like maybe 4 or 5 inches, maybe. Looking at the foliage.
2.5 inches tall. Is that right?
Nice.
That is very small. Holy cow. Great detail for that size.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Right here, they look so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, you had a legitimate celebrity in your chat.
Welcome to the Aloha Hour. Yeah, that scene, they're talking about that fight scene in Last Jedi. I really care about choreography and fight scenes, and it just, I don't know. I think they could have used another 6 months of practice or something.
Okay, well let's talk about fight scenes. What is your favorite fight scene in a movie? Or a TV show? Or a TV show.
Favorite fight scene is the Mad Max versus Furiosa and in Mad Max Fury Road. That fight scene is so beat for beat perfect. I freaking just love watching it over and over again. Have you seen it?
I have not seen that scene, but now I will go watch it. Mad Max versus Furiosa.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just do it.
Nice.
I'm sure that's on YouTube.
You just may find that this particular stream gets demonetized. Oh, wait.
Not monetized anyway.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no. You know what? Because you're allowed to do things for the sake of review. You're allowed. No. So let me share screen.
Did you ever watch any of the old Musashi movies?
Musashi?
Like? Yeah, I think it was Toshiro Mifune. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love those, man. Had very simple fight scenes, but I don't know. Those were good. Not my favorite, though.
Yeah.
Local businesses make San Diego the dog friendliest, like Sama Dog, which offers guided meditation for dogs.
Now,
guided meditation? What the heck?
Meditation for dogs, baby.
Super local, San Diego.
All right, check this out.
All right.
I can't believe you haven't seen this movie. This movie is so freaking good. It's like a roller coaster ride the entire time.
All right.
This is the movie that makes you think Tom Hardy could play Wolverine, and then you see that Venom trailer, and you're like,
Garrett is
Oh, here we go. Boom. Flash. So great. And the editing, man. I know the costume designs on the George Miller like when he was supposed to do JLA, the costume designs were all kind of like freaking a little goofy and stuff. But man, I would have loved to have seen what he actually did with that. Oh yeah, I was just telling like this is such a great fight scene. Yeah.
Who is the Uncle Fester character?
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. That's the one part that's not completely believable. When she leaves her arm back there.
Right.
Oh, but gosh, I love that freaking fight scene. All right. So.
That looks like Cecil. Oh no! What a face! What a face!
So yeah, I mean that scene just for me, it's like it really feels like visceral. Like nobody's like pausing and waiting for someone to strike, or you know, someone's waiting to attack. It's just like everyone's going and going and going, and if there was any of that stuff, they cut it out of the scene because it's so well edited. And yeah, you just don't get that in that.
Now I will wait to attack you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's the worst? Is that let's find it. That's freaking Batman.
It's like playing Punch Out.
Man. Right. Scene Doomsday. Is it Doomsday? No, not Doomsday. What was that vision he had? Vision. This. All right, let's get to this.
Let's see what you get.
I don't mean to turn this into a.
No, it's fine.
Let's just watch some.
So this guy sweats. Degree advanced protection works up to 125.
We'll give some people some free advertising.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, okay, this. The other fight scene in this movie I think is good, but this fight scene is just look out. I'll wait here for you. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'll set you up and wait down here for you. Oh, wait. Here. Look, he held his hand up and waited for him to grab.
This is a Steven Seagal level Aikido action.
Some of the worst choreography. Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's just painful. It's like, you know, it's like green belt skit time at Taekwondo.
Have you ever seen the hallway fight in the first season of the Daredevil where he goes to get the kid? I think it's based off an Old Boyle scene.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Micah, stop.
Duck and weave, duck and weave. Got to have some head movement too, though. Got to have some head movement.
Oh, I got a little. This hangout on air will end if you continue broadcasting content you aren't authorized to use. All right. No more of that. No more of that.
Getting YouTube scoldings. Okay, so that scene is good. The hallway fight in Daredevil, just because I kind of like stuff at that level, because he's catching cracks, right? I mean, he's catching cracks. Yeah. He's like he's exhausted.
Dude, you know. I mean, I love characters like that. That's why my character Devil Dog is kind of based on that entire, you know, like Magnum or like Indiana Jones, just like characters who get the snot kicked out of them.
Yeah,
but they just get up and keep going. You know, that's kind of the whole concept that Devil Dog is based on. So.
Yeah, and then Zach and Vossen are saying the Old Boy fight scenes, and I like both versions. I like the original version of Old Boy and the remake of Old Boy. Either way, that scene, that big battle royale scene,
gosh,
both of those are good.
I don't even remember. John Wick fights are great, but that's because it's funny because you watch Keanu Reeves sort of develop from The Matrix to John Wick. You know, it's like when he filmed The Matrix, he had only had 6 months of martial arts training, but then like by Matrix 2, he had like 2.5 years of martial arts training, and then by Matrix 3, he had like 5 years, and then like he's in John Wick, and he's like a freaking expert at everything.
Well, in John Wick, though, he's like straight up doing some judo throws and some different stuff. I mean, it's like legit stuff, or legit looking stuff.
Like, I wouldn't want to try to fight Keanu Reeves.
I might do it for the T-shirt.
The road fight in Captain America versus Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Such a tight scene. Yeah, I can't play anything else, but yeah, I don't remember having any problems with that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the. I don't know. It seems like an also ran thing here. Like you also. Oh, we have an action adventure movie, and so we need to take this Keanu Reeves or this Charlize Theron or somebody who isn't trained, and train them up for a few months and then throw them in an action adventure movie or an action movie. Mm. But in Asia, it's like you have your choice of highly skilled martial artists, and all you have to do is teach them how to act. Jackie Chan's case, don't even bother.
We have that culture here. I mean, like we've got, just at my company alone, two of our workers have belts here from MMA and kickboxing.
Me again.
One of my workers had a couple of fights with Max Holloway. Actually, did pretty well against him. Max Holloway is one of the UFC guys from Hawaii. But yeah, here in Hawaii, we just got a real there's strong martial arts tradition. Yeah, you throw a rock, you'll hit a skull.
And a lot of according to my brother, sort of a lot of machismo. Fight culture. Like, hey, we'll tease the crap out of you and pick on you until you fight us, and then you're part of the gang.
All right, what else is good? I always mix these up. The show was called Firefly, but the movie was called Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a fight there when they're at this this place where they transmit stuff from. It's the captain versus the agent.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty cool scene.
In the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember that.
You ever seen Equilibrium?
Equilibrium. Who's in that?
Christian Bale.
Oh, is that like the one where they do gun fu or?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that.
That has some fun stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Zach. See you later.
Back to work, man.
Yeah, Sketch is worried about me losing my channel for streaming too much stuff. But it's for review. It's review.
Oh, we've got Protile Secrets. It says Edwin in Roadhouse. Yes, the C9 did in Roadhouse was quite good.
You want to eat the big white man. Say it. Say
it. Let's see. The Princess Bride had one of the best sword fights.
You seem a decent fellow. I'd hate to kill you. You seem a decent fellow. I'd hate to die.
Oh, now I have to look up the dialogue to that. My name is in
on Roadhouse or Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
No more writing. I mean it. Anybody want a pill?
Oh, here we go. Have we got it? Where to go? Let's see. Do they have it?
Gun That's what it was. Gun kata. Ip Man. Oh yeah, dude. Ip Man was freaking rad. Donnie Yen is so awesome in that movie.
Donnie Yen. Oh yeah. That scene where he's fighting the Japanese.
Yeah.
And he is just beating the tar off that one guy where he just keeps punching him.
General. Yeah. Yeah, he does the Wing Chun, you know.
Yeah.
So great. Chow Yun Fat in just about anything he's in.
Yeah. Center line punch.
Yep.
Wing Chun's fun. I know a few guys who do Wing Chun, but
I did. I took it for a little while.
I did when I was a kid. I did a Eskrima. Yeah.
Yeah, I did some Eskrima when I was in Taekwondo. I took a little, well, when I was doing Taekwondo, we did Eskrima, we did Hapkido.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I bailed out at right before black belt testing.
Okay.
Is everybody kung fu fighting? Of course.
Yeah, well, actually, I think I'm turning Japanese now. I'm turning Japanese now.
To take your picture so I can look at you from inside as well. Lord Asman says, the final fight in Return of Jedi has some issues. Return of the Jedi? But it's still a great fight that's enhanced by the level of emotion in the scene. Probably my favorite fight in films. Yeah, it's interesting because in the original trilogy, the sword fight, and I think George Lucas, to his credit, mentioned that it's like you had this old cyborg, Darth Vader fighting this young, poor, still untrained Luke Skywalker. So it was all about, emotion and energy rather than like true, sword fighting skills like you saw in with that Darth Maul and Obi-Wan scene.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, that god awful scene where Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker are fighting.
I have the high ground, Miller.
Don't do it, Danny. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
You were supposed to bring balance to the Force. I hate you. Wait.
Yeah. That poor kid.
But there's this, I don't know if you remember the scene, because I went back and I watched, because I freaking hate that movie. But there's a scene, there's a version of it on YouTube. There's a version of all three of those films on YouTube where they edit out Jar Jar Binks, and it almost makes it watchable. So I watched it that way. But the scene where they're fighting, and they're literally just both of them doing it at the same time, like 6 feet away from each other, just just twirling their lightsabers at each other. I'm like, no. There's actually a GIF of it. It is because it just loops, and it just they're like. Oh, it's so bad.
Gunfights. Aside from Black Hawk Down, there's a movie called Heat,
Oh yeah,
and that scene where they are
like a 20-minute gunfight.
firing, maneuvering down the roads. That's actually how we moved a little bit.
Yeah.
I told you I was in the infantry, yeah.
Mm.
And I used to be a close quarter shooting instructor. And we called it mount. I don't know if the Army still calls it mount, but it's military operations in urban terrain. And this is where you go into buildings and cities, and there's certain techniques for doing this, and there's a certain style of shooting you use. Yeah, it used to be fun. But that scene in Heat, man, was beautiful.
Yeah, I only ever saw it in theaters, so I don't have a great recollection, but I remember that scene taking a really long time.
You know what I hate now, though? Like, Robert De Niro has just lost the plot. And so, like, every time I see him now, I'm kind of soured on him.
I've got a very important question from my son. Was there a harpoon on top of the war rig or a minigun? It was a harpoon.
What?
Yes. It was actually, if I remember correctly, a series of air darts. Yeah, they didn't have any miniguns. So, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, the gunfighting Heat. But what I was saying is Robert De Niro has lost the plot so badly now. Anytime I see him now, it's hard for me to enjoy him in a movie. Like, I just...
You know, it's funny. I was listening, like, when I was a kid, probably mid-teens. I was listening to some radio host in, the Bay Area, and he was talking about how he sat next to Robert De Niro at a dinner someplace, and he's like, Robert De Niro, dumb as a stump. And I had no idea what his politics were or anything, but it's like now I look at him today and it's like all this guy is capable of doing is reading scripts and doing what other people tell him to do.
There's this level of dumb where people don't realize they're dumb and think they're intelligent.
Yeah.
And that's the...
I know lots of those.
Like the Sean Penn level of dumb.
Yeah. Venezuela is doing everything right.
Or the people who quote the Colbert Show at you, like, thanks, that's excellent. I appreciate that Comedy Central level analysis. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, let me do a shout out for Lone Star real quick. Lone Star, Heart of the Hero, guys, is $102 away from a beautiful round $40,000. So if anyone feels like chipping in $102 just to make my night, please, by all means. Oh, hey, I should probably show, I don't know. Oh, yeah, you saw it on the other stream, but I'll show it for the sake of anyone who hasn't. So today I drew this as part of the $40,000 stretch goal, because I know I was going to hit it this weekend. This is the prize for anyone who is signed to my email list, which is in the description, or made a purchase on my Indiegogo. Every single purchase, if you sign up to the web store or the mailing list, you only get one entry. Every single purchase you make on the web store or on the Indiegogo is another entry, and I will be choosing randomly one lucky winner to receive this beautiful, patriotic Lone Star holding up the American flag with all 50 stars in the correct positions and 13 stripes. And he will, and also legendary Art T. Bear has volunteered to also do a sketch that will also be selected and given away on Monday. So there you have 2 chances to win either this or an original sketch by Art T. Bear, also of Lone Star. So get those purchases in by Monday. Get your name on the email list by Monday. And I mean Monday morning, because I'm going to be doing this like first thing Monday morning. So call it Sunday night. And let's make this the craziest weekend for Lone Star since day one, when we did $14,000 in one 24-hour period. Oh, actually, we did 15 grand in 14 hours. That's where I was getting the 14.
We kicked off, yeah.
Yeah, we kicked off so great. So yes, Artie Bear.
Can you zoom in on the eagle on his shirt?
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
Oops. Here, well, this is the lower resolution version of it. Well, there it is. Yeah, I got to get that shirt made and up on Crypto Fashion too. So, and for those who don't know who Art T. Bear is, he's been in this industry for like 30-something years. He was essentially one of the first guys at Image, even though he was an inker, so none of the inkers got the credit that the pencilers did at Image, because, they were all about creators' rights getting credit. So, but yeah, so he's a legend. He's worked on every major book with like every major artist. I mean, he was Jim Lee's inker. He was Carlos Pacheco's inker. Boy, I mean, you name it, he's done it, and he is legit a legend. So the value of his little sketch that he'll be doing will far surpass the value of mine. Yeah. But there it is. So again, by Sunday night, get out there, LoneStarComic.com.
You know what we need for the next campaign?
Midgets.
Well, that would be fantastic. But the wacky waving arms guy, like the thing that they use, if we could put one of those behind you, that would be fantastic. Wacky waving arms guy. Oh, and then put the Lone Star jacket on him with an eagle, paint an eagle on him. Oh, that'd be awesome. Nice work on the jacket though, on that image. That was, yeah. You got the clothing down. If comic books don't work out for you, you might could go be a fashion sketcher.
Interesting. My brother's girlfriend, they've been together for like, I don't know, 7-8 years, something like that. She was a big manga fan, and she's a fashion designer. And she bases a lot of her design work off of stuff that we do in comics and in manga. Because we think of this stuff, and then like she just goes in and, oh, that looks neat there, and they're thinking about stuff. And she's actually the gal who was responsible for the rise of the cargo pants.
Oh,
yeah. Oddly enough, because she was working for Guess, I think it was at the time, and they had all of this leftover like the cargo pant material. I don't remember what it was for, but they had like a ton of it, and they're like, can you design something that would work with this material? And she designed ladies' cargo pants, and they became this was like years ago, but she was basically single-handedly responsible for bringing that into fashion.
Now, who was the person who thought it would be a good idea to put men in capri pants? And I haven't seen a lot of that recently, but I remember seeing that like last year. And here in Hawaii, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. Surprisingly enough, the people who I saw most in capri pants, men in capri pants, was Japanese tourists.
You mean like skinny jeans?
I mean like capri pants, clam diggers.
Oh, like high waters.
Yeah, but like at your calf, like women's capri
Yeah.
pants on men.
Okay, I don't think that made it to California.
Yeah. Oh, amazing stuff.
People are saying, hell yes, cargo pants.
Oh, they should let Rob Liefeld do a fashion show. A pouch for men.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Cleveland Brown has a great idea for next time. Midgets dressed up as Lone Star, Red Rooster, and Cyberfrog all wrestling each other.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I would pay to watch that.
Yeah, well, I was telling Cecil he should take the cash grab money, which he's going to take, and start like a midget extreme combat league, and so that would be the natural opener. Would be yeah.
Very nice. I want a midget. Nacho Libre.
Oh, where was I going with that the other day? I was going to say there should in one of the books there should be midget yakuza. All midgets though.
Oh, that would be funny if I had like when I end up doing the Kagemusha story, if the yakuza in that story are like led by a little midget.
That'd be bad.
He'd be like
an
the
inverted
Tyrion Lannister of the yakuza.
Well, yeah, it'd be like an inverted kingpin, but make him like Puck, like make him like an actual badass.
All right. Yeah.
You remember Puck from Alpha Flight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in 7th grade, I was placed in AP English, and they handed me like the first day of the class. They handed me Great Expectations.
Oh.
And I don't know how big the book actually is, but from being in 7th grade, I remember it being like this thick. And I was like, I'm not reading that. so I didn't.
It wasn't that bad.
I didn't read the book, and you were supposed to read it over the semester. And so I ended up failing the class. And because I failed AP English, which I never asked to be placed in AP English, I was fine with freaking retard English.
They should have handed you a copy of Lower Expectations. Mediocre expectations. Realistic expectations.
Yeah, realistic expectations. That was what I was aiming for. So my dad made me sell my comic book collection.
Oh.
Because he's like, so yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take away the only thing I actually do read, right? But I managed to keep, and this was probably an error on my part because I got rid of all my John Byrne, Paul Smith X-Men, my Walt Simonson Thors, my George Perez Teen Titans, like all the great books, my Byrne Fantastic Fours. The one thing I kept was my entire Byrne run on Alpha Flight.
Oh, cool.
No, not cool.
Not cool?
I should have kept the X-Men.
I wonder what the X-Men series is valued at now.
In Mint, oh my gosh, some of those books go for some fat ducats.
Have you ever met Walter?
Walter
Simonson? Walt Simonson?
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think I have.
Yeah. I read like his new take on Thor that he did. Not the Marvel Thor, but the other Thor. It's kind of interesting. I'm scared to like meet new people now though, because a lot of people have been very disappointing. Not the people that I've met through, Ethan and in the gang, but like just you learn about certain people and it's like,
Yeah. I've met John Byrne. Paul Smith went to my wedding. Art Adams, Adam Hughes. I mean, these are guys that I read before I ever got into the industry, so that's all I'm naming. Right. Mike Mignola,
Mm.
who I didn't like when he got on Alpha Flight
Mm.
because it was like, you know, John Byrne was my favorite. I wish I'd never met him. George Perez. It's funny because it's like such a small community as professionals. I mean, there's only a few hundred of us, really. And we all, well, not all of us, but a lot of us tend to, you know, attend the same conventions and whatnot. So
right.
you end up in the same room with these people or in the same elevator or sitting next to them at a show. I sat next to Bob Layton at a show and got to be friends with him. He told some cool stories. Alan Davis. Have I met Alan Davis? Funny story. This last C2E2, I'm standing in line to get my exhibitor badge, right? And my buddy Ollie's next to me, and he taps me and he goes, "Hey, those guys have your badges." I'm like, "What?" And I turn around and there's a group of guys walking off, and all of them have Mike S. Miller badges, right? And I'm like, I jump over the thing. I'm like, "Wait, whoa, 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 whoa!" Like, why do you have my badges? And they're like, "They gave them to us." I'm like, and the guy's like, "I don't know, they gave them to us. This is Alan Davis." I'm like, "Oh, that's great, Alan. Nice to meet you, legend. Love you." Actually, one of the best moments in my life.
Now give me my badge, punk.
Yeah, exactly. Give me my friggin' badge. I'm like, let's go back. Let's figure out, you know, what's going on. And so they ended up creating new badges for them. Gave me my badges back. And what happened was the guy that runs Artist Alley at C2E2, his name is Mike Miller. And so somehow, like, they were saying, well, you know, we talked to Mike Miller, and somehow the gal that was working the booth was like, "Oh, so you want Mike Miller badges?" so they're walking. I'm glad I got, you know, I'm glad my friend saw them, because otherwise I'm like, but yeah, one of my what I thought was like one of my coolest moments in my career was I designed X-Man's costume when I was doing X-Man. Like, I hated the costume that he had, like with the, you know, the shortcut jacket and the, you know, tidy white, whatever. And so I was like, you know what? He's in this battle right now. He's doing this little crossover with Scott and Jean. I'm gonna destroy his costume, right? And then I'm gonna have him. It's kind of like what I did with the Harley Quinn thing in Injustice. Whenever I hate a costume, I just find a way to destroy it in the script. And so I'm like, why don't we have Scott come out with like an old experimental X Factor costume, right? So I gave him the X Factor costume. He kept his little utility belt, so it broke up the lines, and then I would like put these big fat bold lines on the outside of the X. So yeah, I got to redesign X-Man's costume, and he looked way cooler in that. And then when they were doing, I think it was another Onslaught crossover or something like that, Alan Davis was drawing one of the books, and I got to see Alan Davis drawing my design, and I was like, fanboy, because I love Alan Davis. So, but damn it, he's not allowed to have my badge.
You got to regulate, man. Can't let them punk you.
That's right. Badge swipers. I follow Bob Layton on Twitter. He's cool. He is cool. David Dowler said he hated Ant-Man, but he loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. Very well written and directed. Definitely one of the more solid and uncompromised MCU films. I disagree. I thought it was well written. I thought the direction was lackluster, especially with some of the non-comedic actors. But overall, I gave it a thumbs up. Who are you cosplaying as right now? Happa-Jap. I'm cosplaying.
You're almost your icon. You actually do need to get a rising sun flag behind you. Oh, that would be beautiful. People lose their.
I'll just put this one in.
Nice. Oh. Let me check and see where we're at.
Where are we at?
It's kind of late at night, so 39,898.
Well, I'm hoping people are coming home from the bar feeling pretty tipsy, getting on and wanting to drunk spend money on Lone Star. There was recently a I think it was on Fox News. They showed that people would spend more money depending on like what they were drinking. So like I think it was like whiskey was like number 1 or something, and like vodka was number 2, and they went down the aisle of like how much people drunk spent and what they were drinking.
Interesting.
So you guys, why don't you throw a few back?
There's a Japanese whiskey I like. What is it? Is it Suntory?
Shochu?
No, Suntory, I think.
Oh, Suntory whiskey.
Yeah, Suntory.
Suntory.
It finishes cool, so instead of burning your throat, it's like it finishes very cool. I only get it every now and then. 1, I'm not a heavy drinker, and 2, I think it's like 150 a bottle. But yeah, I'm
not a heavy drinker either. I have a couple drinks every night per doctor's orders, and then I go to bed. Well, yeah, I have high blood pressure, so.
You have high blood pressure?
I do.
Or is that just having 5 children and a mortgage?
Runs in the family, actually.
Okay, so you really do have high blood pressure.
Yep. Are you going to make a sushi taco perk?
Gross.
People don't let this stuff go. You know, interestingly enough, I bet you I could make a delicious sushi taco. There's a place here in town that does this this fusion food, which normally I'm not a big fan of, but it was a Mexican-Japanese fusion. And one of the things they did was they made was it ahi? No, it's a maguro tuna salsa, and they served it with corn chips. Yeah, maguro tuna salsa. Well, have you ever had like? I think it was maguro and mango.
It's like ceviche, man. Or did it have tomato in it?
Gosh, I don't remember. It was a while ago. But it was really good. It was fantastic. You could actually taste the fish. And, you know, I think it had mango in it. So it was like this. But I bet you, because I've had that, I know that you can make a good mix of corn chips or taco shell and raw fish. So I bet you I could concoct something that would be very tasty.
I'm just trying to think of a taco with wasabi in it. Wasabi. If anybody's never had sashimi or sushi, wasabi is like it's Japanese horseradish, I guess.
Sort of, yeah. It is
it is green and it's very pasty, and it will
clear your sinuses.
Yes, it'll hook you up nice.
Yeah, that's always good. So did you have anything percolating on your mind today that you wanted to air?
Oh, today we should
talk about Nasser.
What about Nasser now?
I said we're not going to talk about Nasser.
Oh, yeah. Briefly, though, even though we're not talking about Nasser, I talked to that dude. He actually has a little bit of anxiety. So, yeah, I guess we probably do need to be more gentle, maybe. I feel sympathy for Nasser because I actually like Nasser. Anybody who thinks like I'm actually trying to make fun of Nasser, that is actually the complete opposite thing of what I'm trying to do. Just trying to get him out there to be performative and interact with people.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't get the system that's working.
Yeah.
And what he does And he does it on my stream, or he did it on my stream a lot more, like when we didn't know him so much.
Yeah.
Just come on my chats and just spam his book, Stardust. Just constantly, it's like, go buy Stardust, because it's like, dude, this isn't your freaking chat.
Yeah.
He was a motivated, go getter, and John Nasser's another creator who's got an Indiegogo up. It's called Stardust. Go check it out. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's self-aware.
No, he's not. He's not.
And I don't know how to help that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was asking about his family because it doesn't seem like he had anyone who was taking the time at home to help him develop that self-awareness. And I guess if you've got 3 older sisters, and I don't know, I was never in that situation, but I know how my daughter is with her brothers, and there's a disconnect. So
yeah. Boys and girls need different mentoring and different, yeah.
Iwazaru says, we can't allow the machines to become self-aware.
Yeah. But I don't really understand the anxiety, right? Like if I'm trying to promote something or have fun or entertain somebody, I'll jump out and be goofy, and I have no problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people love the goofy. I mean, Cecil's made a career out of it.
Yeah. And, every now and then you'll bomb, but you know what? People won't remember it a week later. So who cares? Just jump out and have fun.
You know what? Throw the jokes out there. If nobody laughs, move on.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the end of the world.
Nobody laughed at my Faith fat joke. Did you hear it?
What was your Faith fat one? Was it the early Faith was not looking too bad, or what did you say?
No. I said if you scramble up the letters of Faith, it says hi fat.
I guess it does.
It was nothing. It's an anagram for high fat.
Yes, Faith is fat, high fat. That is a weird comic book, man, because like the current incarnation of her, I'm pretty sure I was looking at a real image, and like a triple chin, and like where the face is so fat that it looks like you're.
Gotta interrupt. $40,006.
Oh wow, that was a big jump.
Undisclosed name, but AB, you know who you are, and thank you very much. Risto Jarvinen, both covers, thank you very much. Oh, that's also undisclosed. AM, you know who you are, thank you. And Jessica Nicole, all in the last 36 minutes, have pushed me over the beautiful $40,000 number. Now, if I can just double that, I can get my ass out of
You can get out of debt, huh?
Oh yeah, man. That letter from the IRS today just freaking really crushed me.
We'll give you a taste then. I'm gonna give you a taste of what you're gonna get. I remember the world a little clearer than most. The air is different now, thicker, full of a seething, misdirected discontent, anger, resentment, entitlement. It's a world of spoiled children, raised by spoiled children, and raising little spoiled children of their own. It's getting harder and harder to tell the good guys from the bad. I like that. Every time I read it, I like that little opening passage.
Man, I gotta get this. I wish my colors was delivering these faster so that I could have them relettered in color. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah. I thought I saw this. Where did I think I saw this colored at?
I have this one page colored But he delivered it, and then I did some color corrections on it, and then I posted it. But I'm waiting to get the final color correction.
You showed it to me. You showed it to me, and I remember saying, "Oh, I like the lighting on that."
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you know, I mean, it's the colorist I got for Injustice, so this is gonna be, you know, the same team as the Injustice comic team, and it's gonna be better. Yeah, and then I do have to have my letterer redo this page, these letters on the. This is my old version that still has the MS-13 on it. I need to change that to the Banda de la Muerta.
I've got to take a picture of one of my neighbors. She looks exactly like this girl, but maybe like 15 years later, 10 years later. Like this, it looks like 10 years ago, she could have been this girl.
Mm.
Yeah, I got to remember next time I see her in the hallway, I'm gonna grab her picture and I'm gonna show her this picture. She's gonna laugh.
Should I put any more preview pages up, or wanting to show stuff? But
trying to think what you could show that wouldn't be a. I don't know how your page breakdowns wound up. Well, hang on. Let me look at the pages and see what you can. Some of the stuff would just not have to be lettered, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. They have that. I could put the scene up where he goes to the diner, but it's not like an action scene or anything, but you get that great interaction with the girl.
You could do that. You could also do page 15.
Page 15, is that the one who shoots the girl?
No.
Spoilers.
Because page 15 is a setup page, but there's no spoiler in it.
Okay.
I don't know if you've drawn it yet, though.
Oh, yeah, I've drawn everything all the way through page 23.
Okay, yeah. So in the script, page 15, if that still corresponds.
Hold on, I have it right here. I can show it here. Let me see. Can I zoom in on this? Yes. There we go. Can you see it?
Yeah, getting there.
You see me rolling.
Yeah.
So there you see all 6 members of the Unknown Soldiers, weapons in the back of the truck, going down the sewerway to find the Coven of Vampires.
It's a very, yeah, okay.
Dun, 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 dun. And then you know what? I can also share. Well, you guys already saw page 21, 22, 23, but let me just show you this page for fun. And it's, I mean,
what page is this in the script? Oh, 23? 20. And right here's Svarog. Oh, okay.
So what I did here is I took movie trope vampires and I did a little twist on each of them. So obviously this is based on Nosferatu. This one is based on who was that? The chick from Twilight, maybe? Nah, I don't remember. This one is like a big old buff version of Kiefer Sutherland from Lost Boys. This is based on Louis from Interview with the Vampire. This is based on Selena from Underworld. Yeah, I forget which the other ones are, but I have this big book on vampires. It's like 3 inches thick, and it's got all these movie vampires in it too. So I was like, So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys
That
think on Vampire Coven coming to mess up our stalwart heroes?
That's going to be pretty nice when that's colored.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all the colors. I mean, I told him to do his. I told him, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be my freaking best gig. So make sure you put in your best effort. Yeah, I got another book. Number 823. Very nice, Mike. Not bad for a Mexican Applebee's busboy.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, gracias, señor.
Muy bueno there.
So, let's see. Anything else I can show off? Yeah, let me do the.
The stuff's not lettered, right? If it's not
No,
lettered,
none
you
of
might.
the stuff is lettered. I can do these 2 pages, 11 and 12, just because I love. I know it's very simple stuff, but I love these pages. So there he's eating at the greasy spoon, and he's talking to this young lady. See, his thing is, he knows they don't stay places very long, and so he is not willing to. He's not willing to start a relationship that will just end in, that will end badly because they'll be sent off to some other location in 6 months or a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's, regardless of that stance, he's kind of fallen for this chick.
Someone in the chat asked if Lone Star, what would happen in a fight between Lone Star and Captain America? That'd be right close, wouldn't it? But they wouldn't fight. You'd have to set it up like
fascist Captain America.
No, real Captain America, not this revisionist mess.
Right.
It would have to be an accidental, like mistaken identity kind of fight where like they're introduced onto a battlefield and they don't know who each other are. Even then, there's stuff about Lone Star that might keep him from fighting Captain America, right? Maybe.
Well, I mean, if it bottom line came down to it, Lone Star is a far better fighter, but Captain America is a lot stronger.
Well, now I don't. Canon? Are you talking about MCU Captain America, or are you talking about comic book Captain America? I don't think the normal Captain America is that much stronger than Lone Star. I think they're.
Well, it depends on who's writing it and what they're talking about, because you're talking about a guy. Okay, in the movie, he can hold Thanos' arm.
Yeah.
Thanos, who just beat up the Hulk.
Yeah. In
the comics, there are times that he's lifted dozens of men over his head at one time. Like, so he can lift, or at least he can like military press at least, a ton, possibly 2 tons. So yeah, Lone Star is not that super powered. He's just extremely skilled fighter with higher than human strength limits. Brad Noble says Lone Star seems like just a dude. I kind of want that feeling. I want him to feel like I drew him like an athletic build, maybe Navy SEAL type build guy. He's not a freaking bodybuilder. He's not like Captain America yoked out. Chris Evans is too big to play Lone Star. I think probably like Liam Hemsworth is probably the right build.
Lone Star can take more of a beating than Cap can, though.
Yeah, Lone Star can take a beating, and he heals quickly, so he would be able to come back from like getting his face smashed in or his arm broken or whatever in the fight. So he would keep coming back, but and he would be able to dodge and parry and use Cap's strength against him. I mean, like, I could beat a guy who's bigger and stronger than me if he doesn't know how to fight. I've done it. I had a friend of mine, and I just subdued him because I didn't want to fight him. But it's I don't want to say it's easy, but when you really know how to fight, fighting someone bigger and stronger than you who doesn't isn't that big a deal. I mean, unless he's like the Hulk.
Yeah. It's a skill. It's a skill. And being strong doesn't necessarily mean you can throw a punch at all.
Right.
The DJD show, so Wolverine level healing. Not quite that.
Yeah, no. It's not that level of healing.
But he's robust. He's robust.
Yeah. I could keep going too. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, this is a cool little scene. So this is where you're introduced to Dr. Livingston. Dr. Livingston is the one who came up with the process by which they are granted their powers and their longevity and their healing ability and stuff. So yeah, you've got Hothead, Killjoy, Lone Star, Brando, Scout, and Pastor. That's my team. That's my team. Mike's always fighting. Mike, peace, man, peace. Oh no, that fight was like, dude, I was like 18 or 19, probably. So that was a that was a lifetime ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Did you just get another backer?
Did I?
Let me see.
5 minutes ago. AM. I will not disclose your name because you asked me not to. So yes, I did. $40,061. You think I can hit 80 with this thing?
How many days do you have left?
8 days.
8 days.
8 full days. We started about this time.
Well, let's see. When does Mitch finish up?
Sunday.
Cyberfrog is done. Mitch will be done, but not sure if he's going store or not. Iron Sights is done. Who is shilling right now?
Oh, here's a good one. I'm not going to show the page after this.
Oh, yeah. You can't show the page after that. Yeah.
But this is showing a little bit of his powers. Like, Pastor has special sight, so he can see through things and whatnot. And then here you have Scout rifting. So Scout can rift dimensionally. He tries to keep very short distances where he rifts, because a little later on he has to make a very long distance rift, and it causes problems. So Mitch is extending. Really? When did he say that? Comics Legend?
I don't remember him saying that, but who knows?
Yeah, John De La Rose and Timothy Lim have active projects. Yes, and Timothy and I are in a horse race.
Yeah.
And I think I just pulled a length ahead.
Well, let's see. Let me check them out.
Space Force! Refreshing now. It's on the screen.
Oh, yeah. You've pulled ahead some.
Yeah, almost $2,000 ahead. Woohoo! Thank you, Lone Star Squadron. All right, Spoon. We'll see you later. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Spoon. Let's see. Sierra Whiskey, you guys see my raccoon avatar? The little jerk took over my patio and now demands tribute. Raccoons are bad, man. When I was in the 10th Mountain Division up in upstate New York, they could open up our rucksacks, our backpacks, and would go in and take your food out. Those little things are devious.
Hmm.
Mean too.
Yeah, we have them. Once in a while, we'll see a little family of them scurry away from our trash cans. They're cute as hell, though.
Yeah, I really thought that Trump's Space Force would get more traction because,
Donald Trump Jr.
yeah, I retweeted them and Gorka was pushing them, and
Yeah, it. I don't know when he did it, but it seems like it didn't do anything. But that's the problem is you have to target. You have to target people who support Indiegogos.
yeah,
or Kickstarters or crowdfunding of some sort. People are already used to the system.
yeah. I think at least for Comicsgate, I think that I think Indiegogo is probably the way to go.
Good.
I think people are just more used to it now.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, especially for Comicsgate, like you were saying. Hello, young man. How may I help you? It's 1:30. Why are you up? Go to bed. It's 1:30. What's wrong with these kids? Bad parent.
Well, oh, that's cool. Hang on, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Let me make it bigger first. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I can actually make my computer screen bigger. How about that? No, I can zoom something in.
I like shrink your screen down so it's smaller, and I scoot it up so it's closer to where the camera is, so it looks like I'm looking at you.
Okay. Is my screen showing now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is the sheet where I enter in all the stuff for IndieCron, right?
Well, you better fix mine, man.
Well, yeah, I've got to update it. But what I just realized is that you're the number 5 title, and of the titles that are still open, you're number 2.
Very nice. So,
so once Red Rooster goes out of active, you're the number 1.
Extend it.
Yeah, it depends if if he extends it, then I put it into like in demand unless it's actually extended. Yeah, just so we can kind of keep a look and see where people are.
Here it is. Comics Legend. He said he was talking to Elizabeth about either extending or opening a store, but I know their art contest ends on August 31st, which is a month away. It only makes sense to extend. You know what? It makes sense to just turn it into a store, because if you extend, you don't get the money until the whole thing's over.
Yeah.
Why? At that point, why? You know? I mean, did Zach's turned into a store and he kept it open for a month, right?
Yeah.
Ethan's he extended for a month. I wonder what the percentage difference was of the extension. I know.
I've got to start saving these sheets at points in time. What I just keep updating the same sheet, but I think what I'm going to start doing is saving sheets so I can go back and look at historical points.
Tell me that sheet again.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Ethan's ended at 30 days at approximately 400,000, and then he got up to 538. So roughly 26%. 538. Yeah, so roughly 26% came from the extra month. Jawbreaker.
What's Lone Star at now? I'll just go ahead and update it if you give me the number.
40,061.
61. Okay.
Yeah.
How many backers?
734.
734. Kind of.
Right. And so Jawbreakers, where did that get to? Was it about 320 when it ended?
I think so. He's added a fair amount. I mean, he still gets pretty good movement every week, for something he's not actively promoting anymore.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, is the open store? Let's see if he did 320 and he made another 50. What's the percentage on that?
Okay, if he started out at 350 or started out at 320.
I think he ended at 320.
Okay, if he ended at 320 and he's made another 50, that's not quite 1/6, right? So you're talking about 15% gain.
Okay, so I don't know if it's 100% correlated.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all new. It's all new, you know?
What'd be interesting to do is go back in here and put like the YouTube audience and compare that. Mitch, it doesn't quite line up that way for Mitch, but you can kind of see a clear correspondence between Cyberfrog, Jawbreakers. With Mitch, though, me and Umbrella and a couple of other people kind of did like this slow build up for Mitch. With the Red Rooster. I mean, we had him on the show a couple times, and then he was teasing out concept art for Red Rooster pretty strongly for like the last 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 months on Twitter. So he had, oh, you're seeing yourself.
Yeah.
Cancel. Am I off screen share now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just thinking about the build up for different things. You know, Ethan has the largest YouTube audience, and that corresponds well.
Yeah.
Or wait, is Zach bigger than Ethan?
Zach does.
Right. But there's some correspondence there with the YouTube audience or the lead up to something.
Well, yeah, if you look at Mitch's, Mitch started with, I want to say 2,500 subs.
Maybe about that, yeah.
I started with just under 1,200. No, I think I started with around 1,000 subs. Around 1,000. And so, yeah, you have that sort of a direct correlation, right, to the number of subs he has, and he's more than doubling what I did at this. Oh yeah, he's way more than doubling what I did at this point, or where he was at this point. So maybe closer to tripling, 2.5, 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, the correlation's there, and so if I continue to build up this channel,
yep.
And in 2 months I have another 1,000 regular fans, viewers, subs, then yeah, maybe. Yeah, Art Hutfeld says Ethan had a lot more expensive tiers than Zach. He had some of that were several thousands for original art.
Oh, that's right. He's selling all his art.
Yeah, but his original art was only 4% of his total take. So, and similar 4 to 5% for Mitch's. I did this math today. So, I mean, because someone was trying to convince me to sell my original art, and I'm like, it's not worth it to bump it up by 4%. If that's going to be the average, it's not worth it because I want to keep the art. Oh, I added a new tier today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, for those who didn't follow or don't follow me on Twitter, I added, and it's kind of expensive, but be a vampire, be a victim. This won't necessarily, but it might apply to issue 1 due to time constraints. But by issue 3, if you want to be one of the vampire horde, wait, is that a spoiler? Anyway, if you'd like your face to be featured as one of the vampires or victims in Lone Star, just pony up $750 and send your pics over to me to draw you into a scene. So anybody who wants to be permanently memorialized in the first Lone Star series, you can do that for the low price of $750. And I did it at $750. I know some of these guys are doing it for like $1,000, but I was figuring, you know what? If they want to do it for $750 and just grab 1 copy for themselves, $20 or whatever. But if they want to do like get 25 copies because they're in it. Oh no, wait, because they won't be in some. Whatever. I made it cheaper than the other guys, and I made 20 available. So I try to keep, this is a competitive market, so I'm trying to keep my prices a little bit lower.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, we're slashing prices. Yes, the next campaign we're going to get the wacky waving arms guy to sit behind Mike.
John A says,
either that,
$1. What do I look like, a meth dealer?
either that, or we'll just get one of his kids to do it for the whole stream. He might get a little bit tired, but got to take one for the team here and
I
there.
think I can get Isaac to do that. Mike, if I got that tier twice, can I be both vampire and victim? Not in the same scene, but sure. It'll be like an extra.
I think that sort of scene would be considered pornographic in probably 27 of the 50 states. So,
you know what they say? Everybody has a doppelganger. Or hey, you know what? He could be the same person. In the first scene, he's a victim, and then he transforms into a vampire, and he's another.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
There you go. Heavenly twins. Then one can kill the other. Vampire bites his own wrist. Vampire offing himself. Any werewolves in Lone Star? Not in this series. I'm gonna send my raccoon to your house. They could be twins. Did you have anything of more weighty concern you wanted to?
Oh, well, I had today was like a nuts day on Twitter.
Go on. Yeah, I had to mute several people today. I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this. These people hurt me. I'm
still thinking through this, and I'm going to pray on this and decide. So I started engaging. I was engaging with
Ren Not Famous.
Yeah, because she's doing weird stuff, and I understand that she's doing it for attention, but some of the stuff she's doing is going to get somebody hurt, or could get somebody hurt. With pinpointing people at conventions and saying, "Oh, make sure you don't, encounter these people at a convention," and then this punch a Nazi stuff. And it was just such a bizarre day, because I was saying, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what somebody's political opinion is or any of that. As Americans, we don't take it upon ourselves to assault someone because of their opinion, and you shouldn't be saying assault your neighbor because they think wrongly, right? Because one, you're going to go to jail. Somebody might get hurt seriously. You might get hurt. This is just not a good sentiment. And two, these people who are saying punch a Nazi,
they're fascists.
Well, they call anybody who disagrees with them a Nazi for any kind of reason, all kinds of reasons. Yeah.
And they're Nazi tactics.
Yeah. And I don't trust these people that one, what kind of crazy days we're just kind of deciding who needs to get beat up. Yeah, I'm gonna take a big pass on that. It's not the sort of civilization or society I particularly want to live in, right? Where people are deciding it's all right to assault their neighbors because of bad thing.
No, this is. I feel like we hound on the subject all the time because it's constantly there because they keep doing this crap.
Yeah.
It's like deja vu in constant replay. But they're Nazis. And they're like, oh, well, Nazis hated, tried to kill the Jews and blah. I'm like, Muslims tried to kill the Jews. The communists tried to kill or not tried to. Muslims killed the Jews. Russians killed the Jews. I mean, the communists killed the Jews. Killing Jews isn't what defines Nazis. It's their political beliefs that define them.
Yeah.
And political beliefs and the ideologies that you're spreading are Nazi. And racism doesn't have a political slant. There's racists of every political slant. They may not consider themselves racist, but how many racists do consider themselves racists?
In the way that particular party, you know, and not Nazi is kind of slang anyway,
Yeah.
but the way that particular party took over Germany was through intimidation and violence and suppression, right? Suppression of stuff. And Germany was at a bad place. The Weimar Republic was at a horrible place.
Suppression of political opposition through violent means. That is exactly what they're suggesting and doing.
And the identification and the selection and identification of people as valid targets for disorganized violence, right? Because of opinions or because of expressing wrongthink. I mean, it's the parallels are clear here. And what makes this kind of wicked, though, is you've seen people and some of your peers, not in our circle, but some of your peers have said Trump voters are Nazis.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Or they've said that Trump voters are alt-right and alt-right are Nazis. But there's very simple logical constructions that you can do from their statements. I mean, Wade has said this stuff. Slot has said some of this stuff. Some of the never wases and lesser knowns have said this stuff, right? And so everybody understands what they're saying here. Tim Doyle says this stuff. Tim Doyle said like a vote for Trump was an explicit act of white supremacy. And so there's enough of us out, there's enough of this out here where people talk like this, you understand what they're saying. Right?
Yeah.
And so I got into it a little bit with them today. And one person got so agitated that they sent me a threat. Let me see if I can find this threat. And the bizarre thing about this threat was they tagged the FBI when they made this.
I saw that.
I almost felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you get that angry, stop and take a break.
Yeah.
Because
you know what, though? You know what we need to do with that guy?
Let me see if I can find this post. I'm looking. Just because it broke my brain that somebody was so...
Threatens you and then tags the FBI.
Yeah. Like, okay, I think I've got it here, or I've got a copy of it. Yeah, I'll go share again. Let's see. I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, what a knucklehead.
Okay, it says this white asshole. Oh, excuse my language. Well, I'm just reading it verbatim. All right, so in case nobody's ever noticed, I try not to use profanity on air and off air. I just try not to use it. This white a-hole in Hawaii making a case against punching Nazis. I ask every native islander and Samoan to double dutch this ignorant doof. And so here he's tagged the United States Attorney General's office. If a white pride terrorist attack shooting happens in Hawaii, start by looking at this guy's feed and then tag the FBI and Twitter support. So this person has communicated a threat to me. I mean, a pretty direct threat, and then tagged in the FBI.
It's almost 2 a.m. I want you in bed. No more seconds. I want you in bed.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
What is double Dutch? Michael Pronesti says.
I'm guessing double Dutch is a little double. I don't know. To me, it's like skipping rope. I'm not sure what they were saying. Here's the thing, though. I'm married to a Native Hawaiian woman. I work for a company owned.
You are a terrible white supremacist.
I know.
You're gonna have to lose your card.
I work for a Hawaiian-owned company, right? My boss is about 75% Hawaiian, which is there's not actually a whole lot of full-blooded Hawaiians anymore. Um, one of our workers, one of our Samoan foremen, sometimes gets called Edwin Jr. because he's essentially my adopted son. The Soles love me. This person said Islanders, said Native Island. What is a Native Islander? The people here are Hawaiians. The Native people here are Hawaiians. They are a specific people with a specific culture, a specific language, and a specific history. What is an Islander?
Islander.
Yeah.
Someone from an island.
Yeah. And I get along with all my Soles, all my Tongans, all my Filipinos. You know, this person doesn't know me. If there's a white pride shooting in Hawaii, but like this person flipped their lid. Like if you get in the state, you should stay away from the send button. You should shut down the screen, take a breath, pray, relax, walk around the block, and then see if you really still want to press send on something like this.
Yeah.
I didn't report them or anything. I had no interest in doing that because I think it was an impulsive act. I think they were just really spun up because I don't know, because I wasn't getting spun up. I don't know what broke their brain that bad.
College.
I think they were from Iceland too, so maybe it was like a cultural barrier. Maybe they didn't understand or something.
Perhaps he means Icelander.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Bizarre though, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
But I don't know any Nazis in Comicsgate. I don't know. Well, okay. I interviewed a neo-Nazi one time. I was interviewing people from the alt-right just because I was trying to kind of figure out their deal. And so I was civil to them, but like now in the end, like talking to some of these people, it was like, whoa. I talked to a neo-Nazi guy who was at Charlottesville, and he was a legitimate neo-Nazi guy, right? And listening to him was challenging, was real challenging. But I've not met a single person in Comicsgate or around Comicsgate, not a creator, not a fan, nobody that I thought was legitimately outright. Not a single person.
Yeah. Vox Day doesn't count, right?
Vox Day? Vox Day's not Comicsgate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's Vox Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SJW think merely talking to bad people makes us evil. And yet they talk to us, who they think are bad people.
Well, look, there's a point. Like, if you really care about any of this stuff, and we've said this before, there's no amount of shouting and hollering and screaming and shaming that you can do. None of that will make a man repent, right, and soften his heart. People just don't work like that.
Yeah.
You shout and scream at somebody, you're going to harden their heart. And so if you're shouting and screaming at somebody, you're either defending yourself or you're performing it for an audience, but you're not going to change the behavior of that person. That's just not how it works. That's not how people work.
Yeah, I tend to find people when they know they're losing the argument, or they can feel that they're losing the argument, that's when they start losing their crap. That's why I never lose my crap.
Yeah, I try not. You know what? If somebody's just coming at me, whatever. I know who I am. I know my own personal sins and my faults and stuff. I know I'm goofy. I get it. I don't get fired up by most of this stuff. I'm more likely to get fired up by an attack on somebody else than I'm or a perceived attack on somebody else. Then I'm more likely to get involved. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Well, all right, brother. It is 1:54 a.m. here. Getting a little tired.
Well, congratulations on hitting the 40,000.
Yes, I'm a happy man. We are at 40,156. David Correa we thank you. And David, oh, two Davids in a row. David Munden. Thank you, Davids too.
Men after God's own heart.
All right, Edwin, I shall bid you a fond adieu. Would you like to close with a Bible verse?
Yeah.
On hand?
Give me 1 second. Just 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry. I should have had it ready.
Something for the fans to meditate upon until we meet again.
Okay. Very quickly. All right, so this is from Proverbs 1. Okay. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of their mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Proverbs 1. And that was verses 7 through 10. The fear of the
Amen.
Lord.
Absolutely. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Is that the, I don't, what version are you using?
I'm using King James.
Okay.
King James. Yeah.
Okay. And guys, looks like there's some new folks in the chat. If you're not, please like, subscribe, share. Most important thing is to share. Anybody who you think would enjoy the Aloha Hour or any of my other videos, or any of other Edwin's stuff, Edwin Boyette, that's him on YouTube as well. He's got his own channel. And you have been posting more stuff lately, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to do more stuff in the future. We've just been kind of busy with promotion and stuff, so I really haven't had a whole lot of time to focus on my own stuff.
Okay. Well, right on. We loved having all you guys in here. We will see you on the next Aloha Hour. Until then, Lone Star Squadron.
Aloha.